Hello everyone, this is Cheryl with C&C RV There Yet, and this is part 2 of our Yellowstone adventure, the adventures of C&C.
I'm taking my chances along with my dreams.
So Yellowstone has 5 entrances. We moved from Montana down to Wyoming, and we are staying in Cody, Wyoming at a park that is only 30 miles away from the East Entrance. And we came to Wyoming so that we could experience Yellowstone on the east side. So follow us today for our adventure through Yellowstone East, a different angle. The east side has less geysers and more wildlife. We're hoping to see maybe bear or some other wildlife today, but we enjoy the bison. A few things that you need to remember when you're going to the national parks is there's usually never cell service in the national parks, so if you need to use your phone before you need to download maps or anything, you should do that. Always pack some food because the parks are large, especially Yellowstone is huge, and sometimes you're far away from eateries. Take lots of water, take a jacket, take a raincoat because the weather can change just like that. And there's a lot of driving. Prepare to drive all day, so make sure you have a full tank. So these are some tips when visiting Yellowstone, but we are excited today to experience the east side of Yellowstone. So follow us. Yellowstone is in 3 states. 96% is in Wyoming, 3% in Montana, and 1% in Idaho. Our second visit to Yellowstone was through the East Entrance. We were lucky enough to be staying only about 30 miles away from the East Entrance. And the drive from the RV park to the entrance was just beautiful because we drove through the Shoshone National Forest, but that's a video in itself. Yellowstone is as big as 2 states, as big as the state of Rhode Island and Delaware. Yellowstone was the world's first national park. And did you know that the Army ran the park for over 30 years? We are heading into the East Entrance of Yellowstone.
Map for a front guide for you?
Yes, please.
You're all set. Have a
Thank
good day.
you.
Thank you.
You too. We just love our magical lifetime pass to the national parks. We save $35 every time, and it was just a one-time $80 investment. The fishing bridge was our first stop on the east side of Yellowstone. The fishing bridge was originally built in 1902, but the existing one was reconstructed into 1937. The fishing bridge was a popular place to fish cutthroat trout, but because of overfishing, the bridge was closed for fishing in 1973 because of the decline of the cutthroat population. We spent most of our time at the beachy area on Yellowstone Lake. Yellowstone Lake's elevation is 7,733 feet, and the water temperature, the average temperature is like 50 degrees and below. So although the beach remind me of the beaches back home and in Florida, the temperature of the water was not. It was just freezing. The Lake Hotel was the first hotel in Yellowstone. It has been there for 125 years. Originally built in 1891, it was completed in 1891. It was far smaller. It had 80 guest rooms into the 3-story building. But in 1903, the architect Robert Reamer, who also designed Old Faithful Inn, he redesigned the Lake Hotel and expanded it as well. It now has 210 rooms and it's just gorgeous. When visiting Yellowstone, especially if you're on the east side, you should definitely go visit the Lake Hotel. It's so pretty.
Oh, these flowers are beautiful. Oops. Thank you.
Actually, the way to the restroom.
This is where you came? The cloth is beautiful. Dining room. Piano.
About 6 kids playing the violin.
Oh, wow. Very pretty barn. Gift shop. Super cool. Look at the etched glass over there.
Oh, okay. Bar 2?
He was up the bar. I only did about 4:30. They were open at 4:30. I tried to find on the place.
Oh, okay.
The Lake Hotel is also a National Historic Landmark.
They might have changed the hours to 3, but before that it was 4:30.
The Lake Lodge is not as fancy as the Lake Hotel, but it's certainly charming in its rustic way. I love the fireplace at the Lake Lodge. It was so cozy. Yellowstone's upper and lower falls are two of the major waterfalls into Yellowstone and a must-see. They are located next to Canyon Village
and you can see how beautiful these falls are. In prehistoric times, millions of bison roamed North America, but by the late 1800s, there were only a few hundred bison left after the first settlers pushed west, reducing the animals' habitats and hunting the bison to near extinction. Yellowstone National Park is the only place in the U.S. where bison have continuously lived since prehistoric times. Bison primarily eat grass, weeds, and leafy plants, typically for about 9 to 11 hours a day. That's why they're so big. We went down to the middle overlook for some more spectacular views of the falls. later in the afternoon is when the bison really come out. It's always sad to see the effects from the fires into the national parks. Yellowstone has 250 miles of road with a speed limit of 45 miles. It also has 15 miles of boardwalk and 1,000 miles of trails. Sunsets are always magical and special, every single one of them. But on Yellowstone Lake, I think it's even extra special. Heading down these steep winding roads is always an adventure, but look at these mountain views are so spectacular. The Pahaska teepee was built and owned by the very famous Buffalo Bill. This was his private hunting lodge. It was built into 1888, and we stopped by here. This is on the way out of East Yellowstone, and we stopped by for dinner, and what a treat this was. The place is just gorgeous, and the food is absolutely delicious and filled with this rich history. Buffalo Bill used to entertain hunting parties here, and this is where his guests would stay. And one of the most famous guests was the Prince of Monaco. Into 1913, Buffalo Bill entertained him on a hunting trip.